You got the kettle? No, why are you getting Brabantia there? Why are you getting Brabantia? We don't need Brabantia, right? That's expensive. Don't just get a cheap one there. Yeah, it's for your mother-in-law. Relax. Bring there. Yeah, put it in, right? No, because we got to get all the things right for the housewarming. And then what we're going to do? Damn it, the load shedding. Oh, the trolley. Hey, damn it. Hey, the trolley went out the shop there. For a moment, I thought... Hey, Suresh. Did you hear that? No, I didn't hear nothing. Exactly. Bring a PlayStation there.
I want to meet that pioneer.
You guys don't believe me, go and shake, you'll see. South Africans, truly, load shedding has changed everything. And I mean, it was bound to happen. When you have that much load shedding, people are going to start, they're going to start adapting to it, right? Hedonic adaptation, it's what happens. When you're in any situation for long enough, you start to adapt to that situation and it becomes the new norm. That's what's happened in South Africa. Because now it's like, stage 6 load shedding. You're like, what? It's wild. The wildest load shedding I experienced was 4 hours in the morning and then again 4 hours at night. I'm sorry, guys. Can we have an agreement? Can we just make an agreement here in South Africa? And let's just say, at some point, we can't keep calling it load shedding. Yeah, because load shedding implies that there is a load that needs to be shed. But now, if there is more shedding than load, we have to find another name, right? It's like it's misleading now. Like at some point, we're gonna have to name it by the time where there is electricity, not by the time where there isn't electricity. You know what I mean? Yeah, at some point, you're just gonna be like, it's time for Power Hour! That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Power Hour. That 1 hour in the day when you get electricity to use all of your appliances. Our number one contestant for today is Tembi. Tembi, what are you going to be doing with your 1 hour of electricity? I'm going to be using my blender to make a smoothie. Ha ha, Tembi, that's it, Power Hour. Proudly brought to you by Eskom. Oh, man. Oh. By the way, what is Cyril doing about the load shedding? No, I ask because I've been trying to find out, and I can't find any information on it. He used to give press conferences every day during COVID, and then now he's gone. What is he doing? Do you know? Because I can't find nothing. He's doing nothing? That's an interesting approach. It's a really interesting one. I'll be honest, man, I don't know how to feel about Cyril's presidency. I don't know how to feel about Cyril's presidency. Because he was promised as the person who would bring consistency, right? I didn't know it would be like consistent load shedding. And it's crazy when you think of how it began. You know, when Cyril became president, South Africans were ecstatic. It reverberated around the world. Newspapers would report, is this the turning point for South Africa? People in the streets here were so happy. They called it Ramaphoria. Remember that? They said it was Ramaphoria. I saw him in Cape Town walking along the promenade. People were cheering for him. He was taking pictures with babies. And then now, you come back a few years later, those babies are deleting their pictures. I feel like Cyril is the most disappointing president this country's ever had. Honestly, I feel like Cyril is the most disappointing president this country has ever had. Not the worst president, not the worst president, the most disappointing president. There's a difference. There's a difference, yeah. Because we all know who the worst president was. Yeah. Hendrik Verwoerd. But Cyril is the most disappointing. The reason I say disappointing is because disappointment lives in the gap between expectation and reality. Cyril came in at the highest level of expectation. And now we're sitting here in a reality that's so far from what we expected. You know? Whereas with Zuma, say what you want about Zuma. Say what you want about Jacob Zuma. We weren't disappointed. We were shocked, but we weren't disappointed. Because remember, guys, that guy came in with a shower. Don't forget that, eh? He kicked things off with a shower, so no one can be like, oh, I can't believe what happened. Hey. From the very beginning, we were like, okay, this guy's coming with action and personality, eh? From the very get-go, Zuma came in with a shower. He came in dancing and smiling. We were like, all right, this is what we're going to be in for a ride. And that's exactly what we got. That's exactly what we just didn't expect that degree, you know? If you think of it this way, it's like South Africa is a car. If you think of South Africa like a car, the president is the person driving that car. We're all the passengers. You know, we're there, we're paying for the petrol, we're paying for the maintenance, all of it, and the president's driving. You know, and when Zuma came in, we could see, hey man, this guy, you know, it's gonna be interesting. You know, and he came in there, I'm ready to drive. And everyone there was like, Jacob, are you drunk? And he was like, no, I'm wasted. And he got in that car and he drove it like it's never been driven before. He crashed into everything. He broke every speed limit. At some point, he started selling the parts to the Guptas. Take the battery, we don't need it. And then finally, South Africans had enough. Jacob got kicked out of the car. We were all looking at it there, barely surviving. And then we're like, who's the next driver gonna be? Who can drive this car next? And the DA was like, we can drive. And we're like, we're not ready yet. Yeah, it's too soon. Cyril, are you gonna drive? And Cyril was like, yes, I can drive the car. And we're like, wait, Cyril, are you drunk? And Cyril was like, no, I don't even drink. And we were like, oh, wow, okay. All right, here you go. And he got in the car. But what we didn't know is that he only had a learner's license. Because he sat in that driver's seat, he put his seatbelt on, he looked down and he was like, whoa, it's a manual. It looks like we're gonna learn together. Because I'm sorry, man, I just feel like sometimes Cyril he just lacks conviction. You know, that's what it is. I think that's what a lot of people feel. It feels like he lacks conviction. He'll come out and be like, I'm gonna fight corruption, I'm gonna fight it. And it's like, are you fighting it though? You know, it doesn't feel like you fight. Like if you're gonna fight corruption, fight corruption. And if you're gonna be corrupt, be corrupt. You know, just lukewarm. Like even his scandal, even Phala Phala, what was that? Huh? What kind of scandal was that? Ah, guys, come on, man. What kind of scandal? Not nuclear weapons, you know? Not giant contract, no. Buffalo. Buffalo. Guys, do you understand how my friends in America roasted me when that story came out? That was a tough day in my life. When the newspaper... That scandal was terrible. Phala Phala, what was that? They found 11 million rand. They said that Cyril had 11 million rands worth of dollars in his couch. In his couch. What kind of couch was that? It must have been an L shape, eh? 11 million rands worth of dollars in cash. And then the office of the presidency said he didn't know. He didn't know. So he's never dropped the remote. Not even once, just like, hey son, yo. I don't know what was worse, the scandal or the way the office of the presidency responded to South Africans about the scandal. It was insulting at times, right? At first they were like, this is completely normal. There's nothing to see here. Completely normal. What are you talking about? They're like, yeah, no, you can have some money in your couch. Yeah, maybe 7 rand, guys. Then they went on to say, South Africans must calm down. Cyril just has other businesses that he also does. Other businesses. I don't know about you, but I'm not comfortable hearing that my president has side hustles. You're the president of a country. Why are you doing anything else? It's not like you need spare time. There's no electricity. What do you mean you're doing other things? Are you kidding me? That doesn't make me feel safe. Guys, if I'm on a flight, the last thing I want to see is the pilot coming out of the cockpit like, yeah, Nick next. Ah, Nick next. Ah, beacon fights, mama. Ah, beacon fights. Ah, Nick next. I'm like, yo, why aren't you flying the plane? Ah, you never know, Baba. Back up plane. Are you kidding me? They're like, Cyril has many jobs. How many jobs? Are we just gonna find out by surprise? Huh? One day I'm gonna open my Uber app and I'll just see Cyril is on the way. You're like, this guy takes Tumamina seriously, eh? That whole scandal, man, all of it. The load shedding and Cyril and... But I'll still choose this country. I still choose South Africa every day. I'll tell you that now. Sometimes people will say to me, they'll be like, oh, Trev, you lucky, you got out. Oh, you got out, bro, you're lucky. First of all, I didn't get out. You make it sound like I escaped. I left to go and work. I always come back. People go like, you got out, right? You got out. Make it like I was in the plane, like, go, they're coming, don't let them see me. Go. I love this country. I love South Africa more than anything in the world. It's in my bones. It's in the way I was raised. It's in the languages I speak. And I'll be honest, nothing makes me sadder than the way some people talk about the country. I don't judge them, by the way, because I understand. But, you know, like sometimes people will walk up to me and they think it's going to be like something we'll share. They'll be like, Trevor, South Africa it's terrible. It's the worst country in the world. Huh? Trevor, this country is rubbish. It's the worst. It's terrible. There's nothing worse than this. I'm like, look, I understand that you're frustrated, but But like, be mindful of your words. This is far from the worst country in the world. It's far from it. Right? If there's one thing I hope people would realize is when you give up, that's when it truly fails. Right? It is not the worst country in the world. In my opinion, it is a great country that's going through one of the worst periods in its time. There's a difference. You can have a great country going through a bad time. It doesn't mean that it's now a bad country. We've got so many things to hope for. We've got so many things to work for. People, are you kidding me? And then people will come to me, they'll be like, yeah, but Trev, it's easy for you to say, bro, but look at the looting and the riots. Yeah, guys, there's looting and riots in every country around the world. It happens when there's a lack of service delivery. You will see it anywhere. America was burning down at some point. Paris is burning every few weeks. Huh? Every few weeks. Have you seen them? And the French are angry. Petrol bombs everywhere. J'ai trop de les croissants dessus. Allez, de quoi la merde. C'est trop du futur. Yes, I know they also loot and riot in South Africa, but at least here in South Africa, when they loot, they smile. That way I know it's not personal. They're shaking things up. One of my favorite lootings I ever saw was on the news. There was this guy who looted a TV. He looted a TV, guys. And it was a short guy, and he was running with the TV, and he was like, yeah. And you could see he was having the best day ever. Yeah. And while he was running with the TV, another guy came who was bigger than him and grabbed the TV. And he was like, And then the big guy took the TV, and then he ran away with it, gone. And this little guy, I've never seen a human have so many emotions in 30 seconds. Yeah. 30 seconds earlier, this guy was in heaven. He was there running with his new TV like, yeah, where's the police? 30 seconds later, he was like, where's the police? I'll take it any day of the week. People be like, yeah, you say that, Trevor, you say that. You say that. Yeah, but what about the crime? What about the crime, Trevor? Huh? Yes, I admit it, the crime is terrible. It's out of control. We have to do something about it. We have to fight against it, But the thing that gives me hope is that it's a problem that has a solution. Economists have shown time and time again around the world that when there's a high rate of crime, it is often tied to a high rate of unemployment. And so if you work to fix that unemployment, you are then solving the problem of crime. They've shown this time and time again. It is not an easy problem to fix, but it is fixable. People are like, but you're in America, bro, you're lucky. You don't even have crime. It's like, okay, first of all, there is crime. And second of all, there's something else that we don't have in South Africa, mass shootings. Yeah, that's the craziest thing ever. Just randomly, you're in a room, in a public space, anywhere. Someone comes in, giant gun, starts shooting. 10 people, 20 people, 50 people, 100 people, dead. Why? Nobody knows. Imagine that. Now you're dead. You don't know why. Just getting into heaven. I know they're both terrible, guys, but for me, I'll choose crime, No, because even with crime, at least there's a moment where I know there's hope, where I can be like, okay. But let me take my SIM card and delete my browser history. I'll choose South Africa any day of the week. These are things I think about. I have to think about them. Because now, I've lived in America for so long that they say that soon I'm going to be given a US passport. terrified of it. For those who don't know, I'm sure you've seen it on TV, but for those who don't know, the American system is very different to the South African one. In South Africa, you have the judge, you have the prosecution, and you have the defense. Right? That's who your case is working with, and the judge decides. The judge has studied, they're learned, they know what's going on. And you can talk to them on their side. I'm joking. But I like knowing that person had to go to school to figure out whether I broke the law. In America, it's a different system. They have a judge, they have a prosecution, and they have a defense, but they also have a jury. A jury. 12 people who are randomly gathered, randomly picked, who decide your fate. These people do not need to have studied the law. They don't need to understand the law. They don't even need to have watched Law and Order. Now they're deciding your fate. Dun, dun. I don't want that in my life. Yeah, I don't want that, and I don't want to be on a jury either. That's what comes with getting an American passport. You now have to be on a jury. I don't want to be on a jury. You know why? Because I'm South African. Yeah, and you're probably wondering, what does that mean? I'll tell you what it means. I read the rules of being on a jury, and I realized South Africans can never be on a jury. Yeah, because there's certain rules when you're on a jury. One of the most important rules right at the top of the list is if you are on a jury, if you're serving on a jury, you may not express your feelings or emotions about anything that is happening during the case. You may not talk about it.